My love, this video might get me disowned. I hesitated before pressing record, because once I say this out loud, there's no taking it back, no hiding behind, maybe, or they'll understand later. No pretending like this isn't real, but it is real. And if you're watching this, it's because I finally got tired of living two lives, one for them and one for us. But I'm done choosing silence, just to keep peace. You know what hurts the most? It's not the threats, not the looks, not the warnings they keep giving me behind closed doors. It's the fact that loving you feels like a crime in my own house. That every time I speak your name, I have to look over my shoulder. That I can't hold your hand in public without imagining who might see. That I hear your laugh and immediately silence mine, just in case someone's watching. And I'm tired. So tired of hiding something that saved me. You didn't come into my life with noise. You didn't force your way in. You came with calm, with light, with presence. And still they made you sound like a mistake. They never said your name. They said that situation. They didn't ask how you were. They asked, are you still caught up in that phase? To them, you're a choice I wasn't supposed to make, a direction I wasn't supposed to walk toward. But to me, you're the only reason I didn't give up when everything else around me was crumbling. You saw me, the version of me that doesn't wear masks, the me that doesn't shrink to fit their idea of what love should look like. And for that, they've threatened to cut me off, to erase me, to make me feel like blood only matters. When you follow the rules they never asked if you agreed with. I've kept quiet to protect them from shame. But what about my shame? The kind I feel when I pretend you don't exist in front of people who raised me. How is that fair? They say family comes first, but what they mean is their comfort comes first, even if that means my heart has to bleed in silence. But not anymore. I'm speaking this truth now, not because I want drama, but because I want peace. Real peace. The kind where I don't have to choose between the people who raised me and the person who sees me. My love, this video might get me disowned, but if it means finally standing up for the love that gave me life, then let them walk away. The day I told them about you was the day everything shifted, not just in words, but in eyes. The way they looked at me changed, like I had become something they didn't raise. Something they couldn't understand. I didn't expect cheers. I didn't even expect support. But I hoped, deep down, that maybe, just maybe, they'd see the way my face lit up when I said your name and realized this wasn't rebellion. It was love. But they didn't see that. They saw a threat to tradition, to reputation, to the way things are done. They said you think love is enough to erase everything we taught you. And I wanted to say yes, because what you taught me was fear. What you taught me was to stay quiet, to obey, to never ask why. You taught me how to breathe again. You taught me how to speak, not just to be heard, but to be understood. You reminded me that love isn't meant to feel like guilt. And now they want me to choose. As if choosing you is a betrayal. As if I'm supposed to break my own heart to protect their image. They started with the warnings. We won't support this. You're throwing your future away. Don't expect us to be part of your life if this continues. They said I was lost. But the truth is, I was lost before you. I was living a life where I could never be fully seen. Where I smiled on the outside, but cried every night into a pillow that held secrets no one cared to ask about. I don't hate them. I don't wish them harm, but I can't let their fear of what love looks like destroy what love feels like. And with you, it feels like home. That's why I pressed record. That's why I'm still talking now. Even though I know they might be watching this with disbelief, with anger, with grief. Because I've grieved too. Grieved the idea that maybe they'd come around. Grieved the family moments I may never get again. Grieved the comfort of belonging to a world that no longer makes space for me. But if this video means I'm finally done begging for permission to love freely, then let the silence come. Let the doors close. Because what I've built with you, it's not something I'll ever be ashamed of. My love, this video might get me disowned. But I'd rather lose everything fake than keep hiding the only thing that's been real. I didn't know what silence could sound like until I told them the truth. It wasn't the kind of silence you get after an argument. It wasn't even cold. It was worse. It was empty. Days passed without a word. No calls. No messages. Not even a "we saw the video." Just nothing. And that silence started eating away at me. Because even when you prepare for rejection, even when you say, "I'll be okay no matter what," there's a part of you that still hopes someone reaches back, even if it's messy, even if it's complicated. You hope that love will be stronger than fear. But that's not always the case. And the truth is, they didn't disown me in one big moment. They did it slowly. First, they stopped including me in plans. Then they started answering with one-word replies. Then came the silence. The long, stretching kind that says, "We're not mad, we're just done." And I tried to stay strong for you, for us. For the version of me that refused to live in shame anymore. But it hurt. More than I admitted at first. There were nights I sat up wondering, did I make the right choice? Not because I doubted you, but because losing the people who raised you, even when they hurt you, still feels like something is missing inside. And the worst part, some people told me I was selfish. Why couldn't you just keep it to yourself? Why did you need to post the video? But they don't get it. They don't understand what it feels like to hide the best thing in your life, just so others can sleep comfortably. They don't know how heavy it is to love someone in secret and smile through rooms where you can't say their name. This video wasn't about attention. It was about truth. And truth, real truth, always costs something. Sometimes it costs comfort. Sometimes it costs closeness. Sometimes it costs the only family you've ever known. But I wasn't going to build a life with you on a foundation of fear and pretending. You deserve to be loved out loud. And if loving you means being erased from the people who claim to care about me, then maybe they were only ever in love with the version of me that kept them happy, not the real me. And you've never asked me to hide. You've never needed me to prove anything. You just stayed. Even in the silence, even when I had nothing left but my voice and this video. But if the cost of being true to you and to myself is being cut off from people who only loved me conditionally, then so be it. I used to think family meant forever, that no matter what happened, no matter how far I drifted, they'd still be there. Angry, maybe, disappointed, sure, but there. But now I know, forever has conditions for some people, as long as you follow the rules, as long as you make the choices they approve of, as long as you fit into the story they want to tell. And the moment you don't, you become a problem. They don't know how to love anymore. Since the video went up, I've had people reach out quietly, cousins, old friends, even one aunt who I thought had long forgotten me. They said things like, "I always wondered if you were carrying something. I'm proud of you, even if I can't say it out loud in front of everyone." And that part broke me even more. The fact that some people support you silently, but only from the shadows, because even they are afraid to be seen too close to the truth. And that's when it hit me. This isn't just about me. It's not even just about us. It's about how many people are living like this, loving in secret, choosing between peace and presence, smiling at dinner tables where they can't be honest. And they think they're alone, but they're not. They're just surrounded by walls built with fear. So yes, this video might cost me family. It might get me uninvited. It might get me blocked, whispered about, erased from group chats, and framed photos. But it will also do something bigger. It will let people know I chose love. Not just romantic love, but love for me, for my voice, for my truth, for the part of me that wanted to stop surviving and start living. And you gave me the space to do that. You never forced this video. You never asked me to prove anything. You just stood beside me when my own family stepped away. You held my hand through every hard conversation. You gave me silence when I needed to think and fire when I started to go numb. You reminded me that losing people who don't love you fully isn't really a loss. It's freedom. And now, as I sit here, still not knowing if my phone will ever buzz with their names again, I feel calm. Not because this doesn't hurt, but because for once I didn't run from myself. I didn't lie to keep love. I didn't trade truth for comfort. And I told them about you, because I'm done pretending that hiding love is easier than losing approval. But if love asks me to kneel in shame and silence asks me to live half a life,